Hi guys, my name's Doug. Welcome to my messy garage. In today's video, we're going to finish up the rebuilding of the lower unit for my Force 120 horse outboard. As you can see from the screenshot, we make it out onto the lake for a lake test. And stick around to the end to see how that lake test went. Thanks a lot for watching. Next stage in the assembly is water pump, and I've got a water pump kit for this, so we will replace the gaskets. This wear plate looks kind of like it's seen better days. Maybe not. There is some wear to it. I'm not sure all what is in the kit, so let's crack it open and take a look. Well, surprise, surprise, the only piece in the water pump kit that looks like it's usable is the impeller. The rest of it is definitely not right for a 92 120 horse. Kind of disappointing, but I guess we make do with what we've got. I'm going to put a little bit of gasket goo on these gaskets so that they will seal up. They feel a little bit on the hard side. The water pump was working well on this, and definitely this is not damage here. This is, compare that to the wear plate that came with the new one. You can likewise see a little bit of a scallop on it as well. So I'm not too terribly concerned about that. But we do need to get these gaskets to take a little bit of a bite. So we'll put some silicone on those. I am going to replace the impeller. The original one, while it is the same size, we may as well use the new one. The original one is holding its shape. You can see that it is very well cooked. So we will replace it. There's also cracking in the fins. I don't know if that's showing up on the camera or not, but some cracking there, or some wrinkles. So we'll go with the new one. One of the problems when we're working on an older Force outboard like this is that the Force had a bad habit of using a number of lower units or a number of components throughout the run. I'm not entirely sure what the reasoning was, whether it was strictly a financial issue, using the cheapest one they could find, or whether there was an option issue or what was going on. But one of the things that I have encountered here while rebuilding this lower unit is that not all of the parts are what show up as being necessary in the parts books that are available online. Yeah, this is the keyway that holds the impeller to the drive shaft. It fits in that location there. And now we need to get the impeller to spin around. Either that, or we need to get the shaft to spin around to match the impeller. That's the easier way to do this. Take the spline coupler, put it on the top here. And there we go. Drop down over the pin. So we've got our 4 retainer nuts. Give it a little squirt of brake cleaner. Get the worst of the oil off. Drop the washers down over the studs. And we put our nuts on. I got the rest of the water pump put together, did a quick pressure test on it, and everything looks like it's acceptable. So, time to put things in the bottom of the motor. Put a little bit of triple guard grease in the coupler. Up at the top here we've got a ring and a rubber seal, but I'd like to put some triple guard grease in the on the spline here. At the very least, that will help get the lower unit out the next time it needs some work. Now for the tricky part, this fitting has to go onto the water pipe, which is up here. This of course has to fit into the bottom of the motor. This has to go up through the shift port, and ideally I'd like to have the speedometer hose poke up through the hole where it's supposed to, but I don't have a speedometer on the boat, and let's face it, dropping the lower unit, if I ever did decide to put a speedometer on, would be fairly easy to do. One thing I forgot to grab was this sponge pad. I'm not exactly sure what it does, but it appears to seal off between the water pump and the shift rod. So let me get you set up so you can see what I'm doing, and we'll get this shoved up into place. Okay, this should be a little bit interesting to do one-handed. Get a couple of bolts ready to go. And that should be enough to hold things in place till I get the rest of them started. Might help if we put this up the right hole. Well guys, we're going to try and do a water test again. Hopefully we don't blow anything up this time. Well, I think we'll call that a successful water test for the most part. Power trim's not working, and it's running a little rough at higher RPMs. I think I'm going to have to put a set of spark plugs in it and probably bleed the air out of the power trim. The lift works fantastic, but the trim portion of it isn't working, so we'll have to get that fixed. Other than that, rebuilt lower unit seems to be working just fine. Lots of water coming out of the outlet for the water pump, or for the cooling water. So I think the water pump rebuild was a success. For the most part, I think we've got a good start here. Oh, the other thing, I'm going to need new batteries. The 2 batteries that I have on board. I used them on my camper with an inverter, and they got sucked dry a couple of times, so I think they just don't have any substance to them. You know, they just can't handle any kind of heavy draw. So I'm going to pick up 2 new Group 27 batteries, one for the front accessories, one for the back. Anyways, thanks for checking this out, and on to the next mess.